Hey everybody, this is Ryan McClanahan with historythroughcards.com. I hope you're all doing very well today. In this video, I want to share with you the story of George Mitterwald. You're probably like, who's George Mitterwald? I've never heard of him, and that's a very, very fair statement. I wouldn't expect anybody to know who George Mitterwald is, but every player has a story, and there are certain stories that I really enjoy, and I really enjoyed his, so I wanted to cover it here and tell you guys who George Mitterwald was. Now, in 1975, this is a 1975 Topps, he is a catcher for the Cubs. Most of his career he was with the Twins, playing in the 1960s and 1970s, but in this case, on the back of this card, it says that he hit a 3-run home run and a grand slam, and I wanted to cover that and tell you guys. I think it's really interesting, and a lot of people really enjoy the 1975 Topps. It screams 1970s, and I personally think it's a set that has a lot of challenges, where the centering can be really bad on it, the corner wear as well, and you do have a lot of like print streaks and other stuff. And George Brett's rookie and Robin Yount's rookie are also in the set too, making it a fan favorite. But as I say, every player has a story, and today I want to cover this gentleman right here, and I think you're going to find it quite interesting if you're into baseball and baseball history. So here we go. This is from the Cumberland News, Cumberland, Maryland, March 9th, 1968. Minnesota's George Mitterwald by Walter L. Jones. Central Press sports editor, Orlando, Florida. George Mitterwald, husky and handsome young rookie catcher of the Minnesota Twins, was highly impressive this past winter as a member of the Twins' Upper Midwest Goodwill Caravan. He hopes he is as impressive in the Twins' camp here as he tries to win one of the spots open on a catching staff which now numbers 7. George has forgotten basketball, which was his first love, and also that superstition that he had to eat chicken gumbo soup and a steak sandwich before every athletic competition he competed in. This is his 3rd spring training with the Twins, but he's only been in baseball that many years, as he has spent those 3 years with St. Cloud, Wilson, and Charlotte. 2 years ago in camp here, he was the most impressive early, getting 6 hits in his first 7 times up and turning in 2 hits in his 3 at-bats against the Braves. Mitty, as George is called, came out of Mount Eden High School at Hayward, California as a basketball star, averaging 16 points a game. He started to play ball as a 15-year-old catcher, but even when he went to Chabot Junior College in Hayward, he thought chiefly about a career in the cage sport. He found he wasn't big enough for basketball, so he concentrated on baseball, and he hit 500 in 9 games for Chabot. The second year he batted .325. 16 clubs sought his services, and the Chicago White Sox came highest, but he liked the Twins and signed with them for a $20,000 bonus. Last year at Charlotte, he batted .242, but caught 104 games. Mitty's father was a semi-pro ball player, but his grandfather was a real pro material, but didn't go into baseball because he did not like traveling. This is from the Cleveland Press, April 18, 1974. NL Roundup, Cubs Mitterwald pounds hat trick. United Press International. George Mitterwald has no regrets about his 3-homer, 8 RBI game, but he wishes he hadn't seen that take sign flashed by manager Whitey Lockman of the Chicago Cubs. If he hadn't been on the alert, he thinks he might now be the 8th player in modern baseball history to hit 4 homers in one game. As it is, he is one of many to hit 3 homers in a single game since the turn of the century. Mitterwald, acquired by the Cubs from the Minnesota Twins in a winter trade, hit 3 homers, including a grand slam, and drove in 8 runs yesterday as the Cubs downed the Pittsburgh Pirates 18-9. I saw a good pitch to hit when the take sign was on, said Mitterwald. The first homer was on a hanging curve and the others on fastballs. After that, I tried not to think of home runs, but the last time I was at bat, I was thinking of it constantly. Not too many guys have hit 4 in one game. Mitterwald laid off the good pitch in the 4th inning, during which the Cubs scored 5 runs to build their lead to 15-4. He eventually walked, forcing in a run that inning, and he doubled in his final appearance at the plate. Rick Monday, Jerry Morales, and Bill Madlock also homered for the Cubs, while Willie Stargell, Richie Hebner, and Richie Zisk connected for the Pirates. Bert Hooton staggered. Bert Hooton staggered the distance for the Cubs, allowing 16 hits to win his first game of the season. Jerry Roos, hammered for 10 runs in 2 innings, was the loser. Every player has a story, and a lot of times all you hear is the stories of your superstars, Ted Williams or Joe DiMaggio, but very rarely do you ever hear the stories of the average everyday ball player like George Mitterwald. And again, what is average when you're talking about somebody who has made it to the major leagues, right? Think of how many ball players who have actually made it to the majors. I think it's like 25,000 since 1872. It's not a lot. So if you get to the majors, you've really accomplished a very nice goal for yourself. Even if it's for one game or if it's for 20 years, every ball player has a story, and a lot of times your average ball player, like George Mitterwald, their stories go unheard. So I thought today it would be a nice transition from, say, someone talking about your Mel Otts, or again your Ted Williams or Joe DiMaggio, your superstars. Those guys get covered all the time, and it's not your average, I hate to say average, your regular ball players, your blue collar ball players who come in and they leave and they have a nice career. And again, George Mitterwald played about 10 years or so. And also in this article too, they mentioned Rick Monday, and I'm going to cover Rick Monday at some point too, because he's got a really interesting story that I want to share with you guys, that I think you might find interesting. But for today, I would love to hear what you guys have to say about the 1975 Topps, or if you have a favorite player from 1975. Let me know. I'd really love to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section below. And until the next time, I will talk to you later, guys. Have a good one.